Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of the PSv3 weekly webinars. They come to you every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, because that's where I am. This is Todd Spears. Also have my partner, Herc Magnus, on the webinar as well. He will be speaking shortly. As you can probably see his screen now. I'm sure it's working properly because I can see it really good. I want to welcome all of the new PSv3 members. We have done a little bit of light promoting recently, and so we do have some new members. Make sure you know where this webinars page is right now on the screen, v3.projectsupremacy.com/webinars. There is a lot of very, very good, useful information on that page. Make sure you're going through there and from time to time and learning all the ins and outs of V3, because as you probably already know, it's pretty big. It does a lot of things. The search feature, as you can see on the screen right now, is very, very handy. Type in a keyword and it will pull you to the exact minute and second of a webinar that we have discussed said topic of the keyword. So very, very handy tool there at your disposal. Anything you can think of that you want to learn more about, use that search function. And yeah, very, very cool. Thanks to Bob for putting a lot of this together for us, taking notes on our talks and discussions. Can't thank you enough for that, and I know all of the members certainly love you for that as well, because we know we do have a lot of content. We do these weekly, and some of them last 2 hours. Most of them do. It just depends on how many people are in the audience and how many questions that we get, and how in depth we go into all things V3. All things SEO, all things about your site's ranking or tanking, and how we can help fix those situations or make the situations better. So without further ado, I will turn the mic over to Mr. Herc Magnus. Herc, are you there?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, guys. So primarily this is just going to be a Q&A webby. Once again, we're working in the back end on a new free trial system where we're going to allow you guys to give away free trials of Project Supremacy through your affiliate link, and then it'll be a 14-day fully functional free trial of Project Supremacy that you can give away to people through your affiliate link. And then during the 14 days, we will be sending people through an onboarding process where we're teaching them about every feature of Project Supremacy, showing them the webinar replays, getting them on the live webinars in order to get them to upgrade so that you guys can make 30% recurring commissions. So that's done. The functionality and stuff is done. It's all tested and it's working. All we have left to do now is I got to shoot the 14-day onboarding trial videos and write the email sequences so that it happens all automatically. So that should be out. We're aiming for next week, for like Monday, to be able to launch that, and everybody will be able to take advantage of that. So that's the only real thing that we're working on right now, other than there's a couple of bug fixes and stuff that we sent out updates on. Other than that, let's just open it up to you guys for Q&A. Any questions related to Project Supremacy are highly favored, but of course we will take general search engine optimization SEO questions as well. So if you guys want to ask any questions, feel free to start typing them in now, and we will read them out loud and give you the answers. So Jeffrey Glasser, welcome. If you have any questions as a newbie on the webinar, feel free to type those in, and we'll do our best to answer your questions in full. So let's see what you guys got this week. We can cover schema. We can cover project planning, optimization, stuff like that. John, when are you going to enable SEO meta edit boxes for WooCommerce product categories like Yoast? I think that, okay, I don't use WooCommerce, so I don't have a ton of information on it, but I believe Terry Samuels does a lot with WooCommerce, and I thought that feature was already built in. But if not, we'll have a look at it, John, and get that supported, because I know we are working with WooCommerce, meta description, OPG, etc. for Woo categories. Okay, we'll have a look at it, John. If you want to help us out with that, seeing as you're probably using WooCommerce a lot, hit us up in the group. In the Project Supremacy group, just make a comment in here saying specifically, very specifically, what you would like to see, and then we might even reach out to you personally to chat with us about getting that kind of feature built the right way. Jeff, how do I get my archives to stop being indexed in Google? Okay, so for that, we'll go into a site on the project planner. And I'll show you where all the controls of everything are. So if you go into your SEO, so any site that you're working on, if you log into the WordPress and then you go to the V3 plugin under SEO settings, okay, you're gonna have post types, taxonomies, and MISCs. Okay, each one of these has a button to set it to do not index, but follow. And those are the best settings to have for things that you don't want to show up in Google, but you still want Google to crawl that particular URL and its links. So you want it not to index, but you do want Google following it. Just set that to yes. So you would go to your taxonomies and then categories, tags, nav menus, link categories, format, projects. You would want to set those all to yes. And you can see I have these all set to yes here, as well as MISC, author, archives. There's the one specifically that you're asking about is archives. So make sure you're setting all these to yes. Typically, what I have taught in the past is if you have those things out there, like your search boxes, your author boxes, or archives, or whatever, it can make the site search in Google look a little sloppy, which some people are really kind of picky about. But if for any reason you are getting traffic, extra traffic from Google, from those being indexed, if somebody does like a kind of a weird search and you end up popping up in the search results and getting traffic as a result, then why would you want to turn that off? You know, it's just free traffic. But just for you to have your own choice, of course, that's where you would do it under these three tabs right here: post type, taxonomies, and MISC. And just set these to do not index and follow, and that'll get rid of your extra categories, links, stuff like that. You use a lot of audit tools like Raven Tools, Moz. They flag dupe content for archive pages. Yeah, well, there's your preference. It's totally up to you. That if you want to shut those off, you totally can. I've never really had any issues, honestly, with having them on, as far as, you know, duplicate content issues and stuff like that, penalties and stuff like that. I've never really had any major issues. But with this particular site, I did turn them all off just to see how well it cleans up in the search engines. Let me see, we got 107, so that's way down already. That used to be over 400, I think. So it's done a good job of pulling out a lot of stuff. John says, I've never had an actual penalty, but those pesky audit tools, some clients insist on running flag. Don't let your clients tell you what's right, what's wrong. I mean, they hired you because you're a pro, but If they're insistent, then at least you do have the choice. Catherine, using version 2, you think you assign too many different schemas to a couple of category pages on a money site. The category pages were essentially top of silo pages, so have introductory info about some of the aspects of the silo category with, of course, links to the subpages. 2 questions. 1, what's the best way to remove the extra schemas? And 2, what do you recommend doing schema-wise for category top of silo pages? To remove the extra silos, you just would delete the schema. I don't have any examples anymore of V2. I moved everything over to V3, Catherine, so I can't show you. But it's literally clicking, go to the page, and then in the PSSEO box, you'll have this schema button showing up, and you can just click on the X, and that will remove the schema. And then what do I recommend doing schema-wise for category and top of silo pages? Same answer as I always give when people ask me what's the best type of schema. You have to look at the page. You have to assign schema almost the same way that you're assigning metadata. What is this page about? What is the best schema type for this page? I don't know the content of the page, but if it's a blog, put in blog posting. If it's a category page, maybe brand of the site would be best. Just stuff like that. It's really dependent. The best type of schema is really dependent on what the page is about, right? And in V3 to remove schemas, there's a bunch of ways to do it, Catherine. So if I go, let me close some pages here. So if we go to that site, the same How to Make Money with Bitcoin site, okay, and I go into the website manager for that particular site, and I go over to schemas. Removing schema is as simple as clicking the X. Okay, so it's gone, it's back. Okay, it's literally clicking the X, and that's kind of, it's not the same look in V2, but it's the same function. You just get rid of it on the page that it's on. So if we go to a different page, okay, so something like this, where to buy Bitcoin in Canada, I have an article schema on this particular page. Okay, now I don't. Now I do. It's that simple. Does that help, Catherine? If I wanted to be more specific, this is removing the entire top level schema in V3. Okay, this is very specific to V3, what I'm going to show you. If I wanted to be more specific in the items that I removed out of this schema rather than removing the entire schema, I would actually have to go to that particular schema. So I can click on it and it will take me in there. Okay, so I'd go to How to Make Money with Bitcoin. You can see it's loaded it, but I'll load it over here. How to Make Money with Bitcoin Net. It's an article schema, and there it is. Okay, I would have to actually load that schema and then use the little eyeball function. So just to be very clear, I know a lot of you have already heard this, but when I load a schema, what it's going to do, so it's loading the article schema right now, and then within the article schema, it loads every available property of the article schema, okay? And if there's a gray bar through it, that's because you're not opting to use that particular property of the article schema, okay? If you want to hide all the stuff that you're not using, you can press this eyeball button, the toggle button, and it will hide anything that's unused and only show you what you have filled out in the schema. Okay, so you can then control the schema on a very individual property basis by deleting certain schemas or adding, maybe instead of deleting stuff, maybe you want to add stuff. So what I could do is then show what's available. Okay, so maybe I wanted to use an accountable person or maybe an audience or audio or whatever, any of the stuff that that I don't have, I want to add it. I would just click, add it, and then add the bit of schema. Okay, and then all I'd have to do is save it. Once it's saved, because it's already assigned, it will update your schema for you, and that's all you have to do. And then if you do have any trouble where you save it and it doesn't update on your actual page when you look at the Google Structured Data Testing tool, so say for instance, let's actually take a look at this. What I'm doing is I'm adding copyright year to the article schema. So let's save it. Okay, we're actually going to go to that page and check if it updated, and I'll show you how to troubleshoot if it doesn't update. Okay, so there it is. There's the page. So what I'm going to do is run that into the Google Structured Data Testing tool. And then we're going to check to see if the copyright year was added just by saving it in the schema builder, and show you how to fix it if it wasn't. Except this is being a little slow right now. Okay, so there's our article schema. So what I'm looking at is, there it is. So copyright year. So it was added automatically. I didn't have to come here and reassign it or anything. All I had to do, because this particular schema was already assigned to a page, so when you change it in the schema builder, it updates your website for you. Now, if this hadn't have happened for whatever reason, all I would do to fix that situation is go back to my schema editor and remove the schema, save it, reassign the schema, save it. It would just like kind of refresh the cache just to make sure it showed up. If it didn't show up after that, either submit a support ticket or make sure that you're working on the right site. If maybe you were in a different site, updating schema on the wrong site or something, just always make sure that you're working within the same URL that you're assigning schema to, as well as checking schema on. John, does schema influence contribute to map pack results? I have one local business site and just cannot get it into the map pack despite it getting #1 organic results. What I would do, John, I don't have any data to support a yes or a no answer on that question. I know early in V2, when schema was first coming out and we first put out our schema builder, yes, it 100% definitely had an effect on maps pack listings, because people would add local business SEO and then same as over to their Google Plus URL, and then it would work. So what I would do is definitely include your same as markup in your schema. So let's open a local business one here. So say this particular website, local business schema, and then what I'm going to look for is same as. Okay, and I would add links to all my stuff. So this would be like a link to my Facebook page. This could be a link to my Twitter page, right? This could be a link to my Google Plus profile, which is my GMB listing, right? YouTube channel, like literally every single social property or Web 2.0 property that is kind of either linking to the site or deals with the site, make sure you're marking that up with same as. And that's going to help. As far as a yes or no, I can't give it anymore. You're saying you had fabulous results with V2 and not so much with V3. And that's what we basically saw. With V2, it was easy to say yes because we saw it so much. We saw so many people saying, I popped in a maps pack ever since I added schema. But we also know that since, schema's been released, and back when we released V2 till now, schema doesn't have the same kind of power that it had early on. Google's obviously, they put something out on the market, they don't have any rules on it, people start taking advantage of it and spamming it and finding all kinds of creative ways to do things. And that's how Google will create their rules, right? They'll watch what people are doing, see how people are manipulating things, and then create algorithm updates to ignore those manipulations. So it still will help. I'm pretty confident in saying it's still definitely going to help. As far as how much though, it's still to be seen. V2 made some local business sites compete for national keywords. I mean, really, John, there's no difference in V3 than V2 on an end result basis, as in what does Google see? Whether you're building a site and optimizing it with V2 or you're optimizing it with V3, your end result, the stuff that Google reads, is 100% the exact same. So it's not like V2 performed any better than V3. The only difference between the two is the function of how we implement that kind of data, right? But the data remains the same. So if anything changed, it's definitely Google's algorithm updates as far as how they feel about schema is what's changing. you find the implementation of schema more difficult in V3? I don't know how much you've used the V3 planner, or sorry, the V3 schema builder. It definitely takes some getting used to. But once you've got it, it's quite fast, it's quite easy. But the nice thing with V3 over V2 is that it's far more, there's more schema available to you, like way more. Yeah, he's saying it's not so much more difficult. Perhaps he should say more involved and complex. Yeah, when we add more options, things get more complex, that's for sure. But I mean, people want this, people want that, so we'll put it in there, but then it overwhelms some people. It's just that we have a lot of options, right? I mean, if you truly knew if you felt confident you knew 100% of how V3 works on every option and every setting, you'd absolutely just be like, wow, this is absolutely mind-blowing, right? Because there's just so much that you can do, even with stuff like, you know, the aggregate rating and collecting reviews. You know, say you set up a page or even any URL on your site where you're collecting reviews for an aggregate rating, basically for anything, whether it be an aggregate rating of an article, a person, a business, an offer, or an affiliate review, no matter what, you're collecting reviews on a site or on a page. Even that just has so many options, right? So if we go to like our review settings inside the plugin, you can see there's really a lot of customizations that we have, right, to make things work really, really well with whoever's situation or whatever type of site. So the design customizations, the function customizations, even things like auto approving reviews or wanting them to come into manual. We can do reviews, which is where people are actually writing out a review, or we can do ratings where they're not writing a review, but they're just leaving a star rating. We can have this box on a sidebar widget. We can have it on a page using a short code and still have access to all these options. We can have it as a pop-up. We can have it as an exit pop-up now. So there's just so much custom functionality built into everything. It seems to overwhelm people, but you just got to take it slow. You know what I mean? And use things like the webinar replays to kind of really zero in on, okay, what is it that I'm trying to achieve and how do I make V3 do it? Use the group and use the search box and as well as these webinars to help you do that. John says, okay, reviews is another thing. The number of reviews in the schema is a total of reviews you have on multiple sites, not on your site. No, that's not correct. What that comes down to is this setting. There's two basic settings that comes down to. So number one is natural reviews, okay? Now, what natural reviews are is if you want the people who are leaving either ratings or reviews on the site to populate your aggregate rating data, meaning the star results in Google, so the things that say the site is rated, you know, 4.8 stars out of 5 based on 12 reviews. If you want that to be populated by people actually leaving reviews on your site or on your page, you have to have natural reviews turned on. Okay, that means the aggregate rating will only be updated when someone submits a review on your site, actually submits a review, okay, or a rating. So for here, you can see we have a rating box. So this will update. I'll give it another 5-star rating. Okay, thank you for leaving your rating. Now that will update automatically. Okay, so that's natural reviews turned on. The next item, if it's off now, just to be clear, if it's turned off, you'll actually have to supply the aggregate rating in your schema. So for a site like bestoslaw.pro, I think it was. Okay, so for a site like this, I have that setting, natural reviews, turned off. Okay, because I'm not even actually collecting reviews. So what I had to do is and when I was building my aggregate rating schema, and I'll show you that for Asbestos Law Pro. Okay, so actually we're already on there, which is perfect. I can go into my aggregate rating. Okay, we won't save that. I can go into my aggregate rating, and you can see I supplied the aggregate rating. I want a rating count of 30, and I want the average rating value to be a 4.6. Okay, and you can see that, oh, it hasn't, I changed it to 30 on another webinar, but it will update based on what I'm telling it to do. So I'm supplying it. It's a lie basically, because we don't have any ratings or reviews to support this, but Google will still show it if they choose to show it. But that's the difference between natural reviews on or off. Now the next one that matters is this one, using per page reviews. Okay. What that does is, let's say you have a 5-page website. Okay, you have a homepage and 4 different, maybe local business site where you have a homepage in 4 different locations. Okay, if this is turned on to yes, use per page reviews, the aggregate review will only display and only count for the actual page that it was submitted on, right? Whereas if you turn this off, okay, and you show this collection box, no matter where they submit a review, it will count for that page. So where that becomes in handy is, say you have a smaller site, something like, this is probably a good little example site, Printer Repair Edmonton, which is a really small site. No matter this little review collection box I have on every page of the site, and if I had a sidebar or a blog, I could put that review collection box in the sidebar, and then no matter what page of the site they're on, I can collect reviews. Then to display reviews, that's also another option. I can display reviews wherever I want. I can display reviews on every single page. I could display reviews on only a single page. Okay, so if I did something, I think I actually created this page in one of the webinars, but yeah, I did. So you can see on our reviews page is where I choose to display the reviews, but I'm collecting them on every page. Okay, so collecting reviews, there's 2 ways to do it. You either use the widget, which is site-wide. Okay, so I can actually go and show you that. So collecting reviews, you can use either the widget, and I'll show you the setup, which is typically by default a site-wide widget. So there's a review widget, but you can also hide the widget on selected pages and selected posts. So if I wanted to hide it on the terms of service page and the contact page and the privacy page, I can hide the collection widget on those pages. Okay. The other way to display reviews is through the shortcode. Okay, so if we go back to reviews, okay, and I go to my shortcodes, here's my PRS review widget. This is to collect reviews. I would copy the shortcode somewhere on my page so that I can collect reviews. And then these are all the different options that you have, like pop-up mode or alpha mode, which is kind of like a transparent design, and a stars only mode, which is not reviews, but a ratings instead. So those are the 2 ways to collect reviews, and you can do it widget-wide, site-wide, hide on specific pages, or put them on in the content of specific pages using the shortcode. Now, displaying reviews, okay, is the same. You have a widget, which is site-wide, okay, or you can hide on selected pages or posts using the widget functionality, or you can use the shortcode to display reviews, and then once again, you have a bunch of options how to control the look of the reviews that you display. But to bring it back home, okay, per page reviews is a very, very important setting, because you're either saying only display the reviews that are submitted on this page, or any review that's collected site-wide, display it site-wide. Okay, so there's definitely want to pay attention to those 2 settings. Surely Google weights those reviews less because they're easy to fake. Up until a while ago, so this site, for instance, was a really spammy site, okay? And it was always ranking. Actually, there you go, it still is. So you can see all these this is the spammy type review schema, and it's even a spammy type build. It's a many pages targeting many locations type of site. And I just threw on really spammy schema on it, and you can see that it's still ranking on the first page with the review box showing up. So, I mean, maybe eventually Google's going to go after this kind of stuff, but as of right now, there you go. Here's a great example. Number 1, number 2, and number 3, all with stars. So for right now, no, it's not negatively impacting anything really. Is that a risk of spammy markup is site-wide? Yes, it is a risk doing this. This is definitely a risk. Has it paid off? Yeah, it has. It's still working. So you're using a third-party legal niche review platform. Their reviews I do not include in the count in Schema then. John, once again, it's kind of your choice, right? You have two choices when it comes to your review, your aggregate review ratings. You're either allowing people to submit reviews and that's populating your review and that's turning natural reviews on, or you're saying, no, this is how many people reviewed my content and this is the average review. That means you're turning this off. Okay, so natural reviews is either people choose or you choose. Mike says Google still thinks they like it. Well, I know that Google or Google still likes schema and reviews. Yeah, Google likes schema and reviews. Like they definitely like schema. They have a whole section in the Webmaster Tools dedicated to schema. They have a structured data testing tool dedicated to helping its users make sure that when they're adding JSON LD markup that it's showing up correctly, or even or micro data formatting. The structured data testing tool alone. Okay, this Google tool alone is proof that Google wants you using schema, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't invest time and resources into building this. Jeff, can PSv3 do any type of backlinking? If not, what is the best way to do just a little backlinking? Okay, so yes and no. Okay, it's not going to build backlinks for you. Okay, it's not that kind of tool where it's going to go scour the internet for sites that it can try to build backlinks on and stuff like that. Okay, it's not that sort of thing. But what you can do is easily build links. So like, for instance, this is my V3 account, okay? And you can see if I go to my websites tab, I have 177 websites, okay? And if I just look at my PBN sites, okay, I have 110 PBN sites running on V3. And what I can do is log into any one of my PBNs so I can manage. So let's say I needed to build another link to my How to Make Money with Bitcoin site, because this is a money site. What I can do is go into Lollipop Lustkill. I can go to manage website, okay? I can go to poster pages, okay? And I can add a new poster page and create a link. So if I added a new post, okay, how to make money with Bitcoin, and then I pasted an article here and I do a bunch of nice images and stuff like that. And then I just build links right from within the editor to my money sites, right from within. So in that way, yes, you can use V3 to build backlinks, but it has to be on properties that you already own. So like a PBN network or private blog network of domains. I have 110 of them. So yes, I can build backlinks right from within V3 because I own those properties. But as far as like scraping other sites to build links, no, it doesn't do anything like that. Kath, it would be really cool if we could assign a group criteria, a kind of category for schema reviews, example services, where the company offers several different services versus trainings, and the company offers different types of trainings, but you want the reviews from the individual services or trainings to be summarized up and displayed at the group category level, not at the granular level for the specific class or service. Okay, let me think about this for a second, Kath. You could do that in a way, Kath, because if you have a page specific for training, and then you have another page specific for their services, have the services page have the correct schema for the services offered or stuff like that, and have a rating for the services, and then turn per page reviews on, turn natural reviews on, and only display your service offer type schema on that page, and then on your training page only do it for training, add a training type schema, and then aggregate rating for that, and then only display those reviews on that page. Does that make sense, Kath? One thing we can't do is assign multiple reviews to multiple, like I can't take a set of 3 pages and say, okay, anyone that submits a review on any of these 3 pages, show them on all 3 of these pages. That we don't have that kind of functionality. Unless well, we do, but you'd have to manually build it. You'd have to like go and build the schema and the reviews for each of those pages and then just copy them over. So it's not automatic, but it's manual. But it would still work, and it wouldn't take that long, to be honest. John says, get some expired domains with authority and throw up some blogs. No link building software is any good. Yeah, link building software, I mean, the guys that really know how to use it, I'm sure get results, like the real good black hatters. But I think that when they're doing mass link building and stuff like that and using those kind of tools, they're not actually building links straight to their money sites. They're definitely putting a buffer network around their sites. So you'll have your money site, and then you'll link to your money site from your YouTube channel and your Facebook group or page, and then your Twitter page and your Instagram page. And then they use the mass page building softwares to link to those pages instead of the money site. So it creates a bit of a buffer. And some people even do a 2-tier ring buffer, where it would be like you have the money site linked to from the Twitter profile, which is linked to from the Facebook profile, and they don't interlink, but then they send all the links to the Facebook page, which links to the Twitter page, which links back to the money page. And that's a 2-tier buffer. Some people do it that way, but the mass link building tools are typically shot at the buffer sites, never the money sites. Kath says, I have a reviews widget that lets me pick and choose which reviews get shown on which pages. Would love to have that ability in PSv3. Well, you kind of do, Kath. I mean, you could, like, so when I go to reviews, so here you can see what the review is and where it is, right? But you can edit, I believe, the page. Oh no, you can't. Maybe that would be as easy as we could add a function. Let me open up a little notepad here. Add a function so that we can move that review to a different page. Because really, that would be all you needed to do. Someone could submit the review on this page and be like, no, that needs to go to a different page, right? And then it would work. And then all you'd have to do is click edit. Consider skins for the widget. John, I mean, skins is, we don't really need skins because we have such a customizable, this is a skin. It's a skin designer is what it is, right? All these things, the fields that you want to choose, the placeholders that you want inside the boxes, the design, the colors, the shape, everything. So, I mean, this is a skin builder. John says he has Scrapebox and it's good to find sites to manually comment on, but people still automatically mass spam comments. Yeah, we've seen a lot of those softwares, and over the years that they do the Google search operator to find WordPress blogs that have comments allowed. But I mean, people are learning, like to turn comments off or to do a straight to spam, and I mean, they're harder and harder to find, and it's just like, looking for a shortcut is more effort than just building a PBN and controlling your links, to be fully honest. You know what I mean? Shortcuts are a lot of work for a short-term return and result, to be honest. It's just better to build a PBN to learn that subject matter. Build a PBN, control your links, right? David, what type of Project Supremacy affiliate site would you build to promote your new free trial affiliate program? Well, I would just build any affiliate site, David. I mean, I don't quite understand what you mean by what type of site. Do you mean WordPress, or do you mean landing page, or maybe expand on that? Any site. Like right now, guys, I'll show you this. Project Supremacy V3 review is going to be one of the biggest buyer keywords that people are going to go after, and it's easy as pie to rank for this, right? 105,000 broad match results. I'm number 1. Craig Riley's now number 2. Then we got Twitter. Then we got the official site. We got a couple YouTube reviews, Medium pages. Very, very easy to rank for. And then you can include stuff like Project Supremacy review. That's a little harder because Project Supremacy has been around and there's a lot of people that have promoted us way back in the past. But Project Supremacy V2 review, Project Supremacy V3 review, Project Supremacy bonus, Project Supremacy, you know, all those typical keywords that you see everyone. Very, very easy to rank for right now and just pick up sales and traffic. I know Craig Riley's doing it, and he's already got sales from this listing right here. So Craig put up just a PSv3 review. Okay, and he even uses PSv3 on the site. So then he actually has people submitting reviews. So you can see here's the pop-up mode, leave a review. People are leaving reviews on the site as well. So that's how he ended up with, what do you call it? The aggregate rating stars on his listing. So his are real. Mine I faked. And I created this page because somebody was negative SEOing us. So I just created a page to show them how easy it was to rank for that keyword. But yeah. Anything, any type of landing page, just fill it with content, target the right keywords, build a couple links, and you'll be ranking on the first page. I don't even know if I built a link to this. I think actually, if you go read this review, it's kind of talks about what I did. Spend about 5 minutes of time to write the post. Oh, and for all those that talk about duplicate content, you can actually read this. It's an interesting thing where I said, you know, actually, I'll just read this out loud. My name's Herc Mangus. I'm the co-creator of Project Supremacy V2 and V3 software. So why would I be writing a review of my own product? Quite simple, because one bad Apple review placed by some dude who claims to be an SEO ninja and thinks that it's not easy to rank for Project Supremacy V3 review. So I'm spending about 5 minutes of time to write this post simply to outrank him and show that Project Supremacy actually is an amazing software. This is where it gets interesting. Now, the rest of the content from here on is going to be pretty useless, but I needed some content on the page in order to rank it. It will still talk about PSv2 and PSv3, and I'll even pull content from other blogs who have told far more truthful stories about it. So this is unique content that I wrote. All the rest of it, I literally copied and pasted from other people's sites. So from this video down is all considered, right? A lot of people would call it duplicate content because I copied it from another site. But Google doesn't look at paragraphs and say, I see that paragraph somewhere else. Google looks at the entire page and be like, okay, this content in this order I've never seen before. So the whole duplicate content thing, I really never worry too much about it. I didn't get penalized. There's no problems here. I'm the #1 ranking site for this. I even have a shitty H1 that's way over optimized. Just an interesting thing, just an interesting point for sure. Project Supremacy Reviews.co is $1,800, John says. Yeah, I wouldn't spend that on it. Like I did it on hercmangus.com. I just did hercmangus.com/Project Supremacy Review. And I got to page 1 with that. Catherine, if the page or the widget could select which reviews to include, that would be so powerful for star ratings. If the page or the widget. Well, Kath, that's kind of what I just showed. Okay, because on this reviews tab, this is all the reviews from all the sites. So if I wanted to, we don't have this function, but I like where you're going with it. So we'll probably build it. If I want to move this review to a different page, we'll be able to do it just by clicking edit, and then there'll be a page selection, and I'll just remove that review to a different page. So it's exactly what you're asking for, I believe. If the page, let me just read it one more time. Example, Shiatsu described the entire surface. So she's saying, so the one thing I guess I'm not really understanding, Kath, about your scenario is, do you have a different page for the Shiatsu and medical ongoing program? and then you have like a certification that covers both, yeah, then why wouldn't you just have 3 different schemas, have 3 different aggregate ratings? You have an aggregate rating for the shiatsu page, have an aggregate rating for the medical Kyong program page, and then have an aggregate rating for the overall. I guess because you're saying you want to combine the other 2 pages into the main page's reviews, right? Yeah, so what we'll do is so that there's 2 functions that we can build that will be able to do that. Number 1 is a duplicate review. So like, for instance, let's say this review came out on this page. I wanted it to stay on this page, but I also wanted it on a different page. First, I would duplicate it, and then second, I would edit it and send it to the next page. Would that fix your issue? Okay, you think about it. Yeah, because what you're talking about is like the other option, I guess, would be like have a little drop down and say apply this review to this page, this page, this page, this page. Like select the different pages that are available on your blog so that it applies to different pages. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm going about it the same way when I'm saying duplicate and then move versus take a single review and apply it to different pages. That's pretty easy to do, I think, Kath. We can build that for sure. Yeah, do send me the links though to show me what you're doing, Kath. So, I mean, it's always easier when you guys are describing stuff for me to see it because I see everything in its full picture and all its detail. If you just kind of give me a general idea, it's a little bit tougher. So John says you can still rank EMDs, no problem. It's a myth. EMDs are dead. Absolutely, it's a myth. EMDs are still as powerful as ever. You just have to be careful with EMDs when you're targeting multiple keywords. So when I started with EMDs, I literally was targeting one keyword. And actually this site was an example of that, how to make money with Bitcoin. That was the actual keyword I was targeting. But over time, as I started getting better and better with project planning and understanding how to rank multiple keywords on multiple pages, I started realizing that EMDs, you have to be careful with your optimization. So like this URL is how to make money with Bitcoin.net, and then my URL is Bitcoin mining. So the word Bitcoin you can see is in my URL and in my domain, I should say, and in my URL. That's slightly over optimized. And look at my rankings as a result, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, well, it's in a friggin' really hard keyword too, to be honest. Let's update these competition metrics, because those are actually looking pretty easy. And then investing, this page got hammered on. So how to make money with Bitcoin.net/investing in Bitcoin. Really, this URL should be investing in BTC or just investing. So I'm not repeating a word that I'm targeting in my domain and my URL. I've taught that quite a bit with URL optimization. Never have the same word twice. It's over optimizing. Now you can get away with it, and I have gotten away with it, but it's not the best. I used to be ranked. I used to own like every Bitcoin investing and those type of keywords. I was ranked #1 for everything for so long. But then this site got attacked and I'm still not fully recovered. So yeah, just be careful with your optimization in URLs with EMDs, and then you can rank for multiple keywords on an EMD, not just a single one. Yeah, Kath, that's fair. That's cool. I'm not sure if you want me to show that on the webinar or not, but if you want me to look at that in private, I will. But I like where you're going with that. With being able to kind of take a review and apply it to different pages, that's fine. We'll actually probably do both. We'll have the function to move a review to a different page as well as apply a review to multiple pages. Because I can see both scenarios coming up. I'm caught up, guys. Any more questions? Yeah, see you, Jeff. See you on other webinars, and we'll post the replay tonight or tomorrow. Thanks for coming on the first webinar. Hopefully you got some good info in it. Jeff's got to go. Bruce says he's had a long day, so he's good. Yeah, I mean, we don't have to go for 2 hours like we usually do, guys. If there's no questions, that's fine. But we're here for you guys, so it's you guys that are going to start determining the length of the webinars. And I think too that because we're doing so many webinars and covering everything so in depth, and the fact that we now have the searchable spreadsheet, a lot of people are starting to you're having less questions, you know what I mean, which is great. You're figuring shit out because we have the ability to help you search for stuff, so it's really, really great. So if these webinars get shorter, that's fine. Does Keyword Supremacy come with PSv3? No, it's a separate product, Jack. But you can get a free Keyword Supremacy account from this URL, and I'll pop that in your guys' chat box. And this is a really good webinar too for anyone that wants to learn about keyword research and a bunch of different methods of keyword research. This is a great webinar to watch. I had a couple of small sites, you could see how a 5-page website earned 27 grand. Plus I show some other smaller websites that are still making money to this day that my wife built. And just for sharing this URL, you get a free Keyword Supremacy account. So you should, you guys should check this out. It's pretty awesome. Kath, the plugin you're using puts the reviews in an SQL table, so that gives them the ability to display and assign each review to different pages. Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. We can build that, no problem. That's not going to be hard to build at all, Kath. You find the traffic estimator on KWS to be incorrect compared to AdWords, but it's still great for finding keywords. John, KWS, because it's a bulk keyword search volume tool, we don't actually use the AdWords volumes. We use SEMrush data inside of Keyword Supremacy, and SEMrush data and AdWords data are obviously different. SEM's behind. Google's obviously Google data. Everyone kind of looks at Google data and thinks and makes it like that's the end all be all. And Google's data is for Google search engines. And really it is, most people care about Google. So it is the most important one. It is the most accurate one. It's not 100% accurate, but it's probably the most helpful to people. But with the tool like Keyword Supremacy, when we're pulling in, we have a ton of users pulling in a ton of data. Google would just shut us down in an instant, so we had to go with SEMrush. And we always teach, remember that keyword research is like it's not a science. The numbers that you get back are not an exact number, and that's what you can expect and stuff like that. They're always a kind of a guide, right? It's just a guide. So you can basically, I think the multiplication on SEMrush data to Google data is maybe like 2 or 3 times what you see in SEMrush to Google, just because they're behind. But when something explodes, like when Bitcoin exploded or Justin Bieber came on the line, Google would show like 1 million searches a month, and SEMrush would show 0 because it was so new, whereas SEMrush data is like far behind Google's. So then you just use alternatives, right, in that scenario. Mike says, give a shout out for Terry's son. He was in a motorcycle accident and he's okay. Well, that's good to hear. Sorry to hear that happened, Terry, but glad to hear he's okay. When am I doing the affiliate training and the cost? I'm probably going to start shooting that next week, and the cost to members is going to be really low. I don't want to say a number yet because I'm not sure what we're going to do with that. We always discuss pricings, but I can tell you this: that affiliate training is going to be sold. What it will be is $997 or $1197 or $1297, and include a personal Project Supremacy account for a year. That's what it'll be later on to non-members. You guys being your already Project Supremacy members, it'll be far cheaper for you guys, way cheaper. When it annoyingly throws US locations into searches on google.co.uk. Yeah. Do you see any future issues with GDPR and using the review widget? What's GDPR? That's a new one to me. Or you think is PR PageRank, Google Data PageRank? What's GDPR, Naomi? There's a new crypto coming out. You can buy at 3 cents. Thanks, Bruce. Nobody knows what coins are going to do, by the way. Europe's new security standard, general data protection. Okay, so this is the first time I've heard about that, and typically with stuff like that, I usually don't worry about it. I also don't react to it. I also don't make any changes to anything. I let everybody else freak out and do everything and just stand there and watch it all happen, and see what happens and see how people react and see how sites react. I only typically make moves once I have information. I never panic. And the best example I could give was when people started freaking out about certain PBN hosting companies and how there was major de-indexations happening and shit like that. And people were jumping ship. I just left everything exactly like it was, and I never got hit the way they did. But I think they were doing, it was something else that was causing issues, not the hosting, and that eventually gets figured out later. So yeah, I'll look at it, but I'm definitely not going to worry about it right now. Maybe that's stupid. Maybe it's not. I don't know. John, if you get hacked and the client info is access and you did nothing to fight it and made errors, you will be bankrupted. Well, what's that? Yeah, number one, we'd fight, and number two, we constantly are looking at our security and shit like that. So we're very, very proactive with the user data and stuff like that. Can you repeat, does Keyword Supremacy have any Google results data? No, we pull Keyword Supremacy data from SEMrush. John says it's just more red tape to make life harder. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds something like that's coming in the wake of all this Facebook data. And to me, it's like, how stupid are people out there? Like, I've always known that, and it's very obvious when you go on Facebook and somebody says, you know, hey, let's see how you would look as a boy. And you click on it and it says right there, your data will be shared with this company. And it even tells you what data they're sharing. I mean, that's on you. You're openly sharing data. That's retarded. I know Facebook's under a lot of heat for you know, having that happen, but I never got affected because I didn't give away my data freely to other users and shit like that. You kind of got to use a little common sense with things, I find. Any more questions, guys, regarding the free keyword supremacy account for sharing the URL? Are there any restrictions? Yeah, you don't get any credits, James. So what you get with this free account is you get access. So I can show you. You still got 9,000 credits. Well, then you're good. So you're one of the early takers. You're actually going to log in over here just in case URL gets shown. Basically, the free accounts, they'll allow you to get keyword suggestions, but they won't allow you to get the metrics, because the metrics are really what you're paying for with keyword supremacy, right? You're paying to get the metrics and the competition metrics of the keyword in the form of you pay for a credit pack, and that's how you get the metrics, but the credits never expire and stuff like that. It's not a recurring tool. So the free account will look the exact same as this. If you go to the keyword search, you won't have these engines. These will be blurred out, Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba. That allows you to scrape their engines. But for Google, Yahoo, YouTube, and local, you'll be able to enter, say you want Bitcoin keywords. You could just type in Bitcoin and it'll suggest a bunch of Bitcoin keywords. That's what you'll get with the free account. And then if you want the metrics for the keywords, that's where the credit packs come in. But free accounts will have a timer on your dashboard. Like right here, you'll see a welcome to keyword supremacy. You have like, I think 10 days or 14 days to buy like a really badass package, which is, it's more expensive than on the home page, but it's got way more credits. So you're paying a lot less per credit inside of the free account than you would be from the home page. So this is what you would see with the free account. You get all these keywords. And then this data is from SEMrush, and you just click this. It costs you 1 credit to get all 300 keywords data. Yeah, I saw that, Kath. Thank you. I just don't want messages popping up on the Webby. I'll have to blur that shit out. Any more questions, anyone, everyone? This will be probably the last time I ask. Okay, looks like we're probably done. The last thing I'll say is hopefully you guys notice the changes that these tabs are now expanding, the little icons. Just so you know. Oh, the shop is open, by the way, guys. That's one thing that we didn't really announce it very heavily. We just kind of wanted to announce it quietly. I think I made a post in the group or something real small. But if you guys now want to go, this one right here is shop. You'll be able to buy more competition research keywords, keyword research. So competition research is for the project planner. So that's your broad phrase in title and in URL matches. If you want to buy more credits to use that more, you can. Keyword research is your volume and your CPC credits. You want to buy more of those. Rank tracker, you can buy more rank tracking, and then you can also buy more sub accounts. And then the WordPress manage function we took out, but we're going to put that back in. So that'll come back in right away as well. But this is live now. So if you guys want to increase your accounts, you can. But one thing I'll suggest to you guys, okay, you can buy these, and they are very, very small packages. You can see as little as $2.50 a month for 500 more keywords. I believe it's the same over here. $5 a month for 1,000 more keywords. And then all you do is select, they come in steps. So like, if you want maybe 5,000 more, now you're $25 a month. Or if you just want 1,000 more, it's $5 a month. Think about what you want. Find out what your package is at. So to find out where your package is at, go to your account, go to your billings. Okay, and it'll tell you your usage for each thing. This, like my account I'm only allowed to manage 9,999 sites. Here's how many I'm managing. My rank tracking, my keyword data, so find out how much you have, find out how much you want, price it out in the store. But if it's really looking like you want a lot of stuff, I would just upgrade your membership as well. And you can do that inside of Zaxa or send us a support ticket using the chat bubble, because the account packages obviously are the most valuable thing, but you're getting everything in the account packages. So those are the $37.77 and $127 a month packages. So check those out first, and make sure that you're getting the best value. These are just more for people who just want to add like a single thing here or there, but not increase everything all at once. But we just wanted to once again give you guys the options. So if you want to upgrade your account from a 37 to a 77, do that, because you'll get far more usage than if you were to buy it individually. So that's another thing to mention. Oh yeah, the only other thing that changed as well, guys, is and it's pretty handy actually. The notifications for when things are going wrong within your blog, or anytime stuff is happening, has changed. You can just click on this chat icon and it turns it on and off, but it gives you all your alerts now in a single window, and it still allows you to find the sites. So like for instance, at Garage Door, I see that. So now I can just type in Garage Door and go work on the site and find out what's up with it. So it says I have an uptime alert. So all I would do is look at my uptime monitor and be like, uh-oh, Garage Door Men is down. So then I can go verify that. And let's see. Yep, it's definitely down. It's registered at Namecheap. Oh, I know that from here too, Namecheap. So it's obviously not renewed on Namecheap. So notifications was redesigned just so you could have it as a side view and still be able to work on stuff and be able to access things really, really quickly. And it's very, very handy and very, very fast. So it's a nice little update that's out as well. All right, everybody, good enough for today. Yeah, looks like it. Okay, guys, that's going to be it for today. I'll have the recording up tonight or tomorrow. Do you guys want emails, by the way, when the recordings get up, or do you want like I can email the list, or I can post it in the group, or do both? Just curious what you guys want. Both? Yeah, most people are saying both, or email. Email when the recording's available. Okay. Okay, we'll start sending emails to give you guys the replays.
And
they're always on the same page, but
another thing you guys could do that would help yourselves out and us as well, if you're using Gmail, please drag that. If it ever hits the promotions tab, please drag it over into your inbox area. Start over there, and that way, it'll always hit the right spot, and you'll be notified. Because we get so many email and feedback that you never got your email, and I mean, when we have something important to say, we email quite a bit, and so if you do that, you won't miss our stuff, and it helps others receive it as well.
And we don't spam your inbox, guys, with like a constant barrage of like offers and shit like that. We do once in a while for stuff that we like and that we think is cool. So when you get an email from us, it's usually because it's a good email. It's relevant to you and your situation. So definitely read those emails when they're coming in from PS. Project Supremacy. Yeah, whitelist your shit. Okay, that's it for me.
All right. That's it for me too. Bye, y'all. See you next week.
Okay, bye.